Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Grid Vision's presentation of the SSRL. That's the Spartan Sim Racing League Truck Series, live from virtual Kansas Speedway on Monday night. Oh, Kansas Speedway. That's not correct. I think we're at Talladega tonight. Isn't that correct? And anyways, I'm Joe LaCastro, joined in the booth by Joseph Piscota, and in the truck by Taylor Burris. Joseph, how you doing tonight?
I am great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I am looking forward to calling a race with you for the first time. This is going to be a wonderful evening. We've got a bunch of racers, got 29 racers, I think, ready to go around and show us some of the best in truck racing. So let's get things kicked off with the agenda tonight. We've got 55 laps ahead of us, folks, with a break at lap 22. So it's not going to be the longest race ahead of us, but it is going to be a fun one. You know Talladega's always got good times ahead. So get ready, buckle up, and let's take a look at what's next. We've got a little video about Talladega here. Take a look at the track. And Joseph, why don't you tell us a little bit about Talladega?
Yeah, so we are here, Talladega, Alabama. It's 2.6 miles. The biggest track that NASCAR goes to, and basically what's going to happen today is we're going to be in a big bumper-to-bumper traffic jam throughout the whole thing. If I do remember, I think it was made in 1969, and the France's wanted the start-finish line down by turn 1 to make it a little bit interesting to sell the front seats more. Some interesting facts about, I'm sure if you watch NASCAR, is Dale Jr. has 6 wins, Brad Keselowski has 6 wins, but what's going to happen here today is there's going to be a lot of cars that are going to be bumper to bumper. They're going to be pushing the whole time, and it's going to be a fun race, that's for sure.
Alrighty, and let's get a little bit of the weather today here at Talladega. Talladega, USA, 164 feet above sea level, clear skies. Wind out of the northwest about 7, maybe 8 miles an hour, 80 degrees in the air, 84 degrees on the track. Tell me, Joseph, is that going to change things a little bit? It looks like our race is starting in the evening. It's about 5 o'clock. So how is an 84-degree track going to play into things tonight?
Well, track temperature usually has to do a lot of stuff with tire wear. I really don't see that going to be a big problem here. But the higher the track temp and the higher the temperature outside means less time pushing. And you're going to want to push a lot. So you're going to want to keep those temperatures cleared. And the wind's just going to cause more speed. So we're just going to see a lot of speed and a lot of cars pushing each other. And you're going to want to manage those temps. And that's where that temperature really is going to make a big difference.
Alrighty, so we've got the weather report covered. We've got the drivers right now are going through their drivers meeting. So I figured we'd talk a little bit about something recent that actually happened here at Talladega. You might have seen the news over the weekend, a 28-car wreck, the biggest one of all, some say here. What was your take on that situation?
When I was watching it, I was kind of in disbelief. I remember I was watching it with my family and my wife, and I was like, wow, I think I really only saw like 6 cars go by. And I was just kind of, I was just in shock, honestly. I mean, we were at a red flag for what, like 10, 15 minutes because no one can get out of the grass. It was crazy.
And then that was it was one of those things that crosses the barrier. Talladega is one of those tracks that crosses the barrier between NASCAR and reality, so to speak. It's the kind of thing where news there makes headlines across the globe. And I remember I wasn't even watching the race, to be honest. I wasn't. And it ended up sneaking its way into my life and bringing me to pay more attention to what was happening. Really, really exciting stuff. So we could see something like that here tonight. So let's hope that the drivers keep it straight. You know, we've got 55 laps, but people get pretty excited.
Well, so, you know, if there was a 28-car pileup, I think one person would come out with no damage, right? There's 29 of them. That'd be kind of crazy.
That's right. That would be really crazy. We don't want to take out the entire field in one. It could happen, but we don't want to take out the entire field in one. Yeah, let's hope that fast repairs are on for the evening here. Sounds like they're still talking it out a little bit, but we do have some drivers now out on the track. It looks like the meeting might be over, and very, very soon we're going to be having the grid going. Let's get a little bit of this warm-up footage, though, as we got a couple cars going around.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how this race is going to play out with the trucks. I know that they usually can push a little bit longer than the Cup cars. But I know the draft isn't as strong as the Cup cars, so I'm going to be interesting to watch how long they can push, and if that side draft is going to be as big as, you know, some of the other cars that go around this track.
Yeah, side drafting. All right, I'm somewhat relatively new. People know me at this point, relatively new to the sport. We got the camera on Kyle Westwood here. Westwood, one of the drivers, I think he won last week's race actually. But let's talk about side drafting really quick. When is the strategy to? What is exact? Can you explain side drafting to me like I'm a crazy person?
It really has nothing to do with making you go faster. It just basically slows the car down by putting a lot of drag on the outside of the car, and
That's what I thought.
that's what you want to edge out ahead. And you're also going to want someone to be pushing you. But that's basically the really quick, simplified version of it.
Okay, well, thank you for that brief description. It really did confirm more or less what I understood. As we get ready for the grid here, let's go ahead and take it down to the line, and we'll be giving you the drivers for tonight's race. Let's get things kicked off. In the first place pole position, it's Gary Donnellan. Second, Heath Snyder. Third, it's going to be James Staples. Fourth, Christopher Feud. Fifth place, Corey Moore. Sixth, Jay Salmon. Seventh, it's Colton Gardner. Eighth, Evan Ethel. Ninth place, it's Blair Holloman. 10th, it's Kyle Westwood.
Yeah, and 11th,
take it away, Joseph.
Yeah, and 11th we got Christopher Quitecki. I tried my best on that one. And in 12th we have Hunter Hughes 3. We have in 13th Drew Prohl. 14th Tom Ringer, and in 15th we have Kevin Martin. 16th we have Benjamin D. Stevens, and 17th we have Charles Albert, and in 18th we have Art Nicatoria, and in 19th we have Joseph Tucker, and in 20th we have Brandon Barrier.
All right, 21 Patrick Stein, 22 Chad Genningsman, 23 Scott Schroeder, 24 Brian Britt, 25 Jason Kratke, 26 Andrew Kotska, 27 Jordan Sailors, 28 Gabriel Andy, pardon me, 29 Ryan Jalek, 30 Tyler Beeman, and 31 Rob Yost Jr. So tonight, real quick picks for the race. I'm picking Brian Britt for tonight's race. Who do you have for tonight?
I know Chad Gunnisman pretty well, and I know Heath Snyder pretty well, and I was thinking about either one of those, but I think I'm going to go with Heath Snyder. He runs a lot of restrictor plate tracks, and I have a feeling since he runs that so much, he's going to get it done tonight.
Very good. And then up in the booth, the Burris is picking the 97 of Gunningsman.
It's probably my other pick.
Alrighty.
One of those two run a lot of super speedway races, and they work together, so wouldn't be surprised if you see them out there today.
And real quick, if you can get the keys to the race in before we get to the green flag, let's see what we've got.
Yeah, we're going to want to watch out for the big one. We don't want another 28 pile wreck. That'd be the whole field. And because we're full throttle and there's really no tire wear, so we're not going to really worry about tires. And we're going to want to keep those temps cool and make sure we're pushing and stay out of some big wrecks. And we're going to want to fill that fuel tank the whole way.
All right. Well, let's hope that the drivers heard that advice. There's our man holding the flag. As you said earlier, the start-finish line or the zone is a little bit further down. They want to give the guys in this good seats a good view. And there goes the green flag. We are go, go, go tonight on Grid Vision as Gary Donnellan takes it across the start-finish line, gets things kicked off down to the inside now with Heath Snyder on the outside.
Yeah, this is where immediately you're going to want to see cars start to side draft. They're going to want to go to the front, they're going to want to hook up with each other, and they're going to want to go on the door of each other. As I wouldn't be surprised if you see those top three cars on the outside really start to pinch the bottom lane, and then as soon as they pinch them, they're going to dart up to try to break away that draft. But as they fan out, you're going to want to line up, and the inside lane I think has a lot of help right now, so I think they're going to go by here soon.
And here comes Snyder down to the inside. He was leading the outside line, that 29 machine. Now he finds his way down to the inside, gets the benefit of that squeeze, as we do have 3 lines of cars now forming. That's what you see at Talladega early on, and it can be maintained for quite some time. But I think you're right. That squeeze that we're looking for on the turn, I'm starting to see it happen a little bit here as the 66 moves forward. That's Christopher Fuge. That's in the 68, and he's on the outside right now, just hugging Keith Snyder.
You're going to want to be careful when you do this, and the reason why I say that is because the person you're pushing, you can't see much over that spoiler, so when they go down to side draft, you don't know when they're going to come up, and you can easily left rear someone, cause a big wreck. You want to be on the same page, you want to be able to predict, and you want to be able to see, as you see the cars just dart right there. You see that yellow truck back there, the 67, he was pushing, and you see how far of a gap he now has, he has no idea when he was trying to side draft in front of him.
Yeah, that's Jay Salmon. He's up 1 position right now. That was a bit of a jump. And Ben Stevens in the back was previously throwing it up to create the 3rd rail, but it looks like that rail is dissolving a little bit here as we keep it too wide up at the front, going around into lap 3, or excuse me, into the middle of lap 2 here. Lap 3. I got to read the right screen. Good.
The outside lane right now, they seem to be maintained fairly well. I think the biggest key right now is that whichever lane's going to have more cars is definitely going to be pushing forward. But the one key thing about the outside that seems to always work, as we see a lot of trucks dicing back and forth right now trying to push, is that you don't have to lift as much on the outside lane, and that's why you see such a big outside lane surge. I know in a couple different stock cars it's a little bit different, but I think the same rules apply here. If once they side draft and dart up, there's going to be a lot less lifting on the outside lane, and they're going to have a bigger run.
Yeah, this is really where you see people who have got the drafty car strategy locked in, so to speak. It's always a lot of fun to watch a good drafting race, and I love racing trucks and watching trucks race. It is a little bit different than in the Xfinity and the Cup car, because you can really throw it into that middle lane and maintain a lot of momentum screaming through here. But that side draft, let's see how that plays in here as the 68 Christopher Fuge makes his way up. He's pushing now. He's almost nose to nose with Heath Snyder, but Snyder's still down on the inside. It's just got the geometry a bit. Fuge with the squeeze, a little squirrely. Definitely a little squirrely there. You got to have a kind of steady hand on the till if you're going to make the best use of that side draft, I'm guessing. And we're seeing a lot of oscillation here. Looks like, Donelan might be dipping and saying, I've had enough. Nope, he's back in it.
These guys got to be careful. I mean, we just started the race. Everyone's got fresh tires. Tires don't matter too much, but you get a little bit more maneuverability here. And you're going to like that. You see how does the truck just bounces around really fast. You got to be careful. You turn a little too much. You're not on the same page as the guy you're pushing, and you cause a 28 pile wreck like we saw in the Cup race in real life.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Donelan now, he's really afraid to get caught up in something here. It looks like he's ready to push Snyder a little bit, but like you said, if you get that stretch, that little bit of a gap, that accordion effect that happens when the cars come back together, that can make or break you, especially if you're not ready for the push, or if the push comes a little bit harder than you're expecting. At these speeds, you are pedal to the floor, so any little mistake is going to compound, especially for anybody behind you.
Yeah, and you got to remember, you can't see really, like you're almost blind. You're trying to trust the person in front of you to make the right decision, and that's such a weird thing in racing, because you never want to trust the person you're in front of when it comes to racing. You kind of want to do your own thing, but you can't see because of these giant spoilers. So when someone checks up or you check up, they can't see, and they just kind of run into each other, and you create a huge checkup and a huge wreck usually, or at least a big avoidance, and the pack can get strung out. You don't want to lose the draft. I mean, these trucks are going 190 miles an hour. These trucks are going pretty fast right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of trust at play here, and you just want to trust the guy ahead of you wants to drive as fast as possible, and then he's going to make his line. And it's really up to him it almost feels like it becomes up to the guy ahead of you if you're going to make your line a little bit, like you said, and that level of trust just has to go all the way down the entire field. So right now, though, I've got to say the guys have been doing a pretty good job. We've seen a little bit of squirreliness here and there, But to be honest, they've been dealing with it. We've had a couple of guys signal that they might dip if they need to, but no one yet has given up position in a major way. In fact, there's been very little shuffling outside of the outside and inside lines, kind of trading positions. Looks like Heath Snyder has got things locked up on the inside, but Christopher Fuge on the outside is the only thing that might be holding it back from just taking this away.
I like how these guys are doing right now, and they're both really smooth. Heath seems to really keep that truck really steady right now and just kind of glued to the yellow line. It's kind of like a guide around the track, and that's just making it easier for him to get a push. And the easier it is to push, the more stable you're going to be, the more draft you're going to have. Although, you know, the 12 truck there on the outside, he's doing a great job too. Well, he's pushing him. But the truck on the outside, you know, he's doing a good job too. The 67's right on him. He's pushing him. He's keeping a really good steady line. And like I said, it's really early. I don't really see a need for a 3-wide train, but you know, some people are impatient. They just want to go to the front.
Right. And speaking of somebody sending it three wide out to the outside, that's the 69 machine of Kevin Martin. He's falling back very far right now. Not sure he meant to do that.
No, sometimes you just want to get out of line. You check up a little bit, and you're like, I don't trust it right now. And you just go to the back and you kind of feel it out. I mean, usually what I do is we got some pit stops.
We got some pit stops happening already here. Now, remember, we're only going 55 laps. We are on lap 8 right now. So it looks like we're going to be maybe about 12 laps away from the first and only break of tonight's race. But out front, Heath Snyder is still driving it hard.
Yeah, he's leading. He's thinking, I don't need to pit right now. They were single file, so they're racing back. I think those guys back there who pit, they're thinking, yeah, we're just going to fill it up and go to the end and be in the lead when this stage, because they're going to have to pit anyway again. So I think that wasn't a bad idea if you're in the back. But man, you can see the 57 truck is pushing really hard, and you just saw the wiggle out of the outside lane right there.
He is. That's Jay Salmon in the 67 there. He's really, really trying. I got to give it to Gary Donnellan also on the inside behind Heath Snyder. That 12 sticking behind somebody, especially through a tri-oval at speed, like you said, with the fender, you've got to kind of anticipate the line. And right now, Heath Snyder is drawing a line that you could follow with your eyes closed. And Gary Donnellan is doing an excellent job holding on to that line. The two of them together are really, really fighting. But on that outside, Jay Salmon, that push he's given, it's really been spectacular to see the outside line take advantage of their speed.
Yeah, Salmon is just all over the back of that truck. And what's happening right now is that he kind of backs off to get that truck cooled a little bit on the front grille, and then he just pushes him all the way through the track without stopping, and basically just pop down the side draft, and they're just side by side with Heath Snyder, and that's just kind of it. It's just 2 by 2 by 2 right now. And I know the pack is a little bit smaller because they pit, but if they keep doing this, it's going to be hard to form any lane. It's not like you're going to want to go through the middle. You're just going to get dropped to the back of the pack.
Yeah, this 2 by 2, this double column has been about as professional as it looks. It reminds me of watching a live broadcast of, actual truck racing, live racing. This is really good stuff, and this is why I signed up. Is I would love to be down there in the pack right now watching this happen as Hunter Hughes falls back a couple of places. Let's talk really quick about who's making some moves right now. Chad Ginnigsman, he's up 14 places. He's in 8th right now. So if we look at Chad Ginnigsman, he's in the middle of the pack, but up 14 places is 15 now. That's still nothing to sneeze at in a race where I've mentioned there hasn't been too much movement. There has been some. 15 places for Ginnigsman. Tom Ringer, he's in 5th right now. Ringer's up 9 places. So there have been some people taking advantage of all the speed coming off of these two columns. And it looks like Ringer and Ginnigsman are two of the best right now. However, up at the front, we've got guys that have only shifted maybe a place or two, and they're just going to keep shifting those 2 places until we get to that yellow flag. I have a feeling with only 10 laps to go, Christopher Few and Heath Snyder are still battling it out for first.
I think Chad just got in the right line, and he just kind of kept his foot on the throttle, and he just kind of went up there. I think at some point in this race he's going to try to get to Heath and try to work with him if I know them well enough. But he just got in the right line and just started going forward. But when you get gridlock like this, when both the lines are pushing so well and they're cooling their trucks off and they're side drafting right, you're just kind of stuck. There's really nowhere else you can be. You can try to make a middle lane, you can try to make an outside lane for all the way at the top. But you need a lot of trucks, and right now with the pack stuck in half, for pitting, I don't think you're going to get that. Although we got a truck, it looks like he's bailing out the 67 all the way at the top.
Oh, that would be Jay Salmon. Yeah, Salmon rotates back. Maybe he's feeling a little bit of bad juju up there at the front, a little bit of bad voodoo.
I think he's trying to get down to pit. I think that's what he's trying to do. I mean,
could be trying to make his exit.
If you look at the inside lane, they're single file, and you want to be single file when you pit because you don't know where these guys are going to be in the pits. Early pit stall, late pit stall, you don't want to be double file and run somebody over. I think he's trying to drop to the back because the outside lane only has 4 trucks right now, and 3 of them are close together.
That's a good point. Now here we come down toward the inside of the tri-oval. Jay Salmon, who was previously pushing our man Christopher Fugue on the outside, has fallen back now pushing Fugue. I believe that's Colton Gardner in the 21 machine.
Yeah, these guys right now, I think they're trying to ride it out, be cordial, try to maybe pit, maybe try to wait it out depending on what's going on. The inside lane has the most trucks. I'm really still impressed of that outside lane with 3 trucks, but that just kind of goes back to what I said. They don't have to lift as much on the outside. And these guys on the bottom are checking up. They're able to do it, but as I say that, here comes the inside lane. There's just a lot of trucks. I think they're going to go by this outside here soon.
Yeah. As soon as we mention it, they get a little bit trained up again, but then here they come, potentially using that side draft, but I think potentially also just using the fact that, like you said, they don't have to worry so much about tires. They're not tire saving. They're not saving anything. However,
I think these trucks, I think the 12 truck is just, he's just been all over Snyder. And I think right now he's fine with pushing him, but you saw him pop out there. He's just trying to get that temperature. We got to get that nose out there. Got to get it in clean air. You got tape. You got stuck up behind. You get the oil and water really high, and you can't push long when those things beeping in the red. Trust me. You got about a 15 to 10 second determination of what you got to do to lift, or that engine will explode. And I know he doesn't want that.
Yeah. I've been to that line a couple of times, and you do only have a couple of seconds to choose between blowing up the engine or dropping back a couple of miles per hour. That will cost you some space. That will cost you some places potentially, especially with everybody running this tight. You're going to have to dip out. But it looks like he's just far enough back, and they're just fast enough that it's working out. He's keeping that engine just cool enough too. That's Gary Donnellan in second place up there in the front. Ooh, maybe looking to the outside. No, we're going to create a second line again here.
It could
yes,
be.
No?
I think right now everyone's just trying to ride it out right now. Donnellan has been pushing Snyder this whole race. You got Staples, you got Ringer, and Gudesman, who just kind of gone through this whole pack. They gain a lot of spots. I'm sure they're fine where they're running right now to that caution. But I think everyone's just going to kind of mind their P's and Q's here. You can see a lot of spaces we're seeing right now between these trucks. I mean, other trucks can fit in between, and I think they're just cooling that engine off, just waiting it out, don't want to push the envelope here. Oh, there they come down pit road, actually.
Here comes the big pit road push. Gunningsman to the front of the pit road, the front of the line.
Truck I think they're wrecking.
Whoa. Yeah.
24 truck I think just locked up the rear tires and spun out, but I can't believe it. I don't think he hit anybody.
That was James Staples. Maybe we can get a little grid vision replay of that. You think we can get a slice of that? I don't think that counted as a wreck.
I think he just spun it all the way through like a rallycross driver and kept going. He's got a little right front damage, I think.
Just a bit. They can hammer that out.
I don't think he touched anybody. That was kind of impressive. I definitely know he didn't mean to do that. I know he just locked up the rear tires. It's going to cost him some time, but I would have thought a lot of people would have been involved in that.
Yeah, I thought so too. Well, we're on lap 17 of 55. We've got 5 official laps to go until the end of the first stage. Here's the replay here.
I think this is him coming to pit road after that spin.
Oh, that would have been right after.
Great
That's
avoidance by everybody, though. My goodness.
Yeah, I thought there were going to be a few more people tied up in that, but it looks like that did not register as a wreck for any cars involved. So, you know what? Keep driving.
Yeah, I think he stayed on the edge of that pack, too. I mean, you don't want to take the damage. It's too much time to lose. He's got a caution coming out to, fix that right front, but I think he's just going to come out right behind the pack and still be on the lead lap and not have any problems, really.
Let's talk about who else is on the lead lap right now. Chad Gunningsman. He is 21 places up. Christopher Kwiatek is right behind him. He's 9 places up. Gunningsman looking to make a pass here.
Yeah.
One of the guys that we kind of talked about earlier, we said he's going to be looking to make some moves, and here he is.
Yeah, he just kind of hooked onto the back of this pack right here. You know, they pit. He hasn't pit yet. This is kind of in his favor, and the reason why I say that is because he's getting towed around the track as a leader, and he could pit with not a lot of people, you know, in front of him or behind him, and there's not many, you know, laps to play left and for this. Wow, there's really squirrely right there. But he's just kind of getting pulled away right now from the rest of the pack. We're trying to form up and catch him.
Right in front of Chad Gundingsman, that's Jordan Sailors. Sailors is back a lap. Gundingsman just using the speed here to get tucked in. There's the 24. Offering the positions up to the leads.
Yeah, just going to go a lap down there. Just probably couldn't hook up to the pack after the time he lost spinning. I mean, he should be able to hook up to the end of this pack because they're up to speed. And here comes Chad down pit road.
All right. Gundingsman finally getting in line, getting in there with Quiet Tech as well.
Go a little sideways.
Quiet Tech sideways. Oh, no.
Oh, man, these guys are locking it up hard. And that's one thing we should have said in the keys of the race. Don't speed and wreck on pit road. I mean, you lose so much time, especially during a green flag pit stop.
Seems pretty elementary, but don't speed on pit road, boys, would you?
Yeah, you don't want to give up that time. And locking up is a big issue as well because you lock up those rear tires, it's like you're on ice. That car just takes a nosedive into the inside wall like we've seen already.
Yes, absolutely. And we've seen it happen twice so far today. Thankfully, only 2 cars involved out of the 2 that went spinning around, and they're both still on the road. As we say that, though, Heath Schneider has slid back into first place from second place, of course, where he started this race. So he could be winning stage 1 with 2 laps to go in stage 1. Heath Schneider in first place, Corey Moore in second, Andrew Kotska and Ben Stevens right now battling it out for third. Ben Stevens up 13.
Outside lane.
Yeah,
got a lot of
huge.
trucks in them. They're going to make a run here at Snyder. They got a lot of trucks lined up, really single file. They're really close together. They broke away a little bit there, but Heath's truck just seems so strong on the inside lane. He's just towing that inside lane, and they can't seem to clear him. They're trying, though.
Here we come, though. Moore now making the move. Ben Stevens also. No one quite coming down in front. So Moore still holding the outside line, not yet willing to give up the momentum that he's getting, the push he's getting from the outside. As I say that, here comes Heath on the inside. The 4-car run there, very strong.
And they got a little sideways right there at the top lane. You got to be careful. They're pushing so hard right now to try to pass this 29 truck so much that they don't want to wreck themselves in the process. They got really squirrely there. Got a little close to the rear bumper there.
Don't want to do that. Oh my goodness.
Not in this pack. There'd be a lot of cars involved. We may hit that record of that 28-car pileup again.
Don't want to do that. Now, in the middle of this pack here also, there is a lapped car. That's Drew Prohl in the Busch car, the 80 machine. He's kind of getting tied up a little bit in the middle of everybody. Just trying to get out of the way, it looks like. Hopefully not going to be the source of any situations here as we're going around.
You don't want to push the envelope here, especially if you're a lap down, because if you get an incident point, it doesn't give you that lucky dog. And I'm sure that's exactly what he wants to do, which is fine right now, being more up into the pack. He doesn't really have to worry about racing anybody. But if there's a wreck, he can be right involved in it, and that would just kind of cancel each other out. But they're getting really swirly there. We've got a new contender on the inside lane, though.
We do. The new contender on the inside lane, that's the 69 machine of Kevin Martin. He's up 14 places. He just took first place. Oh, we got a wreck. Into the lapped car they go. Oh, my goodness. That's half a field.
One car just went head on into the wall, and I think I just heard the engine blow. I don't know if they have fast repairs, but I don't even know if he's be able to drive that back.
Oh my goodness gracious! Let's take another look at that one, folks. What a blowout! First thing I saw was it looks like somebody got into the 80 machine.
Yeah, someone wasn't holding their line. It looked like, and they got really back up and swirled up.
I saw the 80 machine of Drew Prohl. It looks like he got button hooked just a little bit. Remember, he's the red Busch machine, I believe.
Everyone seems to be pretty cordial here. I think there's going to be a stack up here. This was right near the beginning of the field, though, so this took out a lot of cars.
And this actually was right at the moment that we went to our yellow flag, so I think that this might be the end of the stage. There it is.
Yep, just a bad push.
Just a
not a
bad
good
shove.
push. I think he got a run. He went to go make a third. Man, that was a hard impact on the 11 car. But I think he went to go make a run and just mistimed it, hit him, and just came right down. But that was right in front of the field. Look at all those trucks. Those are a lot of torn up. There's pieces flying over the catch fence. I got souvenirs over there.
Wow. Brandon Barrier just back and forth, scrubbing across the middle of that track, catching up everybody who passes him. Really, really unfortunate going around. There's also the 74 of Scott Schroeder. Oh boy,
That
the
was just a
massacre.
push gone wrong right there, or a run just timed incorrectly,
Yeah.
and because it started at the second third row, there's a lot of trucks involved. I mean, there's a lot of mangled trucks coming back down here on pit road. They're gonna have to fix.
Well, let's see how that stirs things up. We're at I do believe this is going to be the official yellow flag mark.
I think so too.
So while these guys go down and take things slow and get things fixed, I think we are going to go to a commercial, if that's all right. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that, folks. Stick around, and we'll be right back on Grid Vision.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, folks, and we're about to get the green flag back at Talladega, lap 25 out of 55. There's the green flag. We are go, go, go tonight on Grid Vision. Once again, these trucks are going around for another 30 laps, and we are going to bring you all of the action. I am Joe LaCastro, joined by Joseph Piscota, and during the break, we just had the cleanup of the semi-big one here. I think Joseph, we had quite the wreck that it looks like people are still recovering from. And up at the front, though, it doesn't seem to have affected our leaders, Heath Snyder and Chad Goodnicksman, at all.
I'm starting to see a trend here, and I'm sure you can see it too. It's the same names and the same trucks up here, and I think this is what we're going to see to the end of the race. These guys know what they're doing. They're sticking it out. They're avoiding these wrecks. They're not pushing the issue. But they know what they're doing. They're holding straight lines. They're pushing. They're keeping the cars, safe from temp. And there goes Heath. I knew he was going to jump down in front of Chad, and now that car right there is just out to dry. And there's going to be a big line. There's no help. There's a big train on the inside lane.
Oof, that big train is going to. Let's see if that push is going to work out. I mean, obviously it's working out for Heath Snyder, but I'm wondering when Chad Goodnicksman is going to make his move. When do you think he's going to finally make his move? Is it going to be a late stage thing, or do you want to be, if you're Chad, are you just chomping at the bit right now looking for that position to stay out ahead?
Well, you probably heard it, and a lot of people probably hear it, but you spend most of this race looking at your rearview mirror more than your front windshield. And trust me, your front windshield can get pretty dirty, but you're still looking at the rearview mirror, and that's because you want to see where these runs are going. Where is someone thinking about it? You're trying to guesstimate. When you're in a line like this, and if I'm Chad, I'm looking at my mirror seeing no help, you have to stay there. You have to push the 29 truck with Heath Snyder, because if you don't, you're going to go back to 20th, it looks like, because of how big this line is. But at the end of the race, the people will tighten up, the pushes will get harder. That's their indication of saying, hey, I'm with you. We got to make a move. This whole accordion effect. But I hate when people try to make the move on the last lap. You can't. You got to do it at least a half a lap before, because you got to set up this run. You just can't do it immediately.
Yeah, you got to coast to a victory rather than leap for a victory. It feels like, especially at some of these tracks where you can't guarantee yourself the speed off of a turn. Off of the very last turn. If you're setting up your big win for turn 4, it had better be a guarantee. But it's much better to start that, like you said, a lap ahead of time, a lap and a half ahead of time.
You run the risk of not having help or not building that run. You pull out and you make a move and you got no help or no run, you just lose positions. You just give it to them. So you gotta look in that mirror. You gotta look in front of you. You gotta feel the push of what's going on, and trust me, these drivers feel it. You feel the intensity go up, you feel the pushes get harder, you white knuckle the wheel a little bit harder. I think they're wrecking. The 24 truck's in the wall.
Is it? Oh, in the back there. Yep, we finally got some people falling off. It looks like we're still green. Where it's off the race line, we are still green.
Oh, another car.
And there we go with the yellow flag. I was waiting for it. We didn't have any actual wrecking at the time.
I saw the 24. Yeah, the 24 truck looked like he got right rear. Another push gone wrong.
That scooped up a bunch of people, but it took them right off the race line, it looked like, until that moment that the one came back up.
Yeah, that just looked like a push gone wrong. Wow, look at he's oh my God, he's doing a burnout in front of the field here. I think he's trying to get that caution.
When life gives you lemons, I would also have gone for that caution too, I think, at that point.
That just looked like a push gone wrong there on the 24 truck. It looks like he got right reared. And when you get right reared down the back straightaway, you're just getting turned in front of a lot of trucks. Let's see what happened here. Yeah, we're already wrecking, but yeah, they just came across, and there's a lot of trucks there that just got involved right there.
To end up in that position and then not see the yellow flag, that's got to be the worst feeling, because you're thinking, here I am, spun sideways, I'm trying to get back up, I'm gonna be down, I'm gonna be by myself, there's nothing I can do, I need a yellow now, why hasn't one come out, one come out?
Look at that onboard, I mean, he just had nowhere to go. The whole track you just see how fast these guys hit the wall, how fast these trucks are going. They're going 190 miles an hour. You have a truck pull down in front of you, though, there's just nowhere you can go. It's a hard hit.
Yeah. Call him Iggy Pop, because he is the passenger.
Iggy Pop, man, I haven't heard Iggy Pop in a long time.
It's a good reference for NASCAR race calling because of the passenger reference. It's my favorite part of calling a wreck. It's like, well, he's a passenger now. He bought a ticket, and now he gets to take the ride. Terrifying thrill ride.
He was on for a ride, that's for sure. Look, there's a lot of trucks out here damaged. Look at the 6 truck, he's damaged. The 13. These guys are going to have to fix those trucks if they're going to want to stay up because the aerodynamics is so important here.
Okay, coming back down, and the race off of pit lane looks like it's being led by Gary Donnellan, who's currently leading the race, at least right now. I think everybody pit during that.
You're going to want to
Donnellan did not. Tank. Yeah, Donnellan did not pit yet. He's still out there. A couple people still out there. It looks like Heath Snyder is coming back out now.
Donnellan looks like he's out there by himself.
Yeah, he was. He would think he might have been the only one who did not pit.
Yeah, Donnellan in that 12 truck. I mean, we saw him in the early part of the race, kind of slip back. I don't know if he's trying to get track position here, or he just flat out forgot to pit. But I'm gonna think you're gonna want to pit one more time like these guys did.
Probably.
Yeah, he looks out there by himself. I wonder if he just. I wonder, you know, you're looking in your mirror, you're thinking like, do I have any damage, anything? And you see these guys going down pit road, and you're like, oh shoot, I forgot to go down pit road.
Yeah, that's me usually when I'm racing and I'm racing by myself. I have very, very poor fuel strategy, so I'll just think, do I go, do I don't go? And then I'll just see the whole line go, and I'll be off in La La Land, and I'll miss my opportunity to take my exit.
Well, here's a little tip about caution here at Talladega, or Daytona really, any track that you hold it wide open. If you clutch or turn off the engine a lot, you save a lot of fuel, and you would say duh, but another thing you also do that not a lot of people think about is, especially coming to like a green white checkered, which hey, you never know, we may get. I don't want to jinx it, but you're gonna bring down those water temps, and you have a longer interval to push if you clutch and turn those engines off. So another thing to keep in mind.
Oh, that's smart. I only really learned of the clutching strategy a few months into this hobby, and I thought that was the coolest thing. Really, what a genius move. You just turn your engine off for a little bit and then turn it back on. Why not?
Try doing that during a race pace at 1.5 mile races or 2 mile racetracks in these stock cars at like Michigan or California, where you're right on the edge of fuel and you're go off in the corner and you lift, shut the car off, you coast all the way to the corner, turn it back on, drive, and keep your pace. You're pretty busy in those cars.
Yeah, turn it off, turn it on, switch here, switch that. It's got to be a strategy that you commit to, and you can't fatigue it, or else you're gonna really pay for it. As we come back around now here at Talladega, the lights are off on the pace car, so we're going to be getting things going pretty soon. 32 out of 55. We're almost down to the 20 laps left. Things are looking pretty good right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if the pace picks up here as we're coming around 20 laps to go. I wouldn't say it goes from 0 to 100, but you're going to see probably pushes that are a little bit harder, a little bit more aggressive moves. But once we get into that 10 to go is really where you're probably going to see 3 wide racing, heavy pushes, heavy side drafts. And it's good racing, but if you do it wrong, as we've seen already, you cause some big carnage.
Definitely some big carnage. And I wonder, my friend over in the truck, Taylor Burris, can you put up the track conditions? Let's see if it's gotten any warmer out here tonight at Alabama. Just wanted to see if we could check on the temperature. It's actually cooled off a little bit, the temperature above the track, so things are getting cooler, which means that our boys are going to be able to race harder as they go on.
Faster miles per hour, that's for sure. Those engines are going to be making peak performance as the sun goes down, and the track only gets cooler and the air gets cooler. We may be maybe 2-3 mile an hour quicker, especially with harder pushes coming out in the end.
That's what I love to see. The pace truck is coming around. We are almost done now, going through 3 and 4, getting ready for the tri-oval. Here comes Gary Donnellan in first place, Heath Snyder second, Chad Genningsman third.
Now, on this restart, I'm really going to be interested to see what line's going to go and how aggressive they're going to be here coming to 20 laps to go and how aggressive these side drafts are going to be. We're about to find out.
It's been all about this 2-line strategy, the two columns fighting side by side the whole race so far, as we are green now, and it is go, go, go at Talladega.
Yeah, Donilon here, he got a good jump too, but those 3 trucks on the outside, they're already pushing. Oh, one of them dips off, the 47 truck dips off, so Heath Snyder's doesn't have a lot of help right there. There's a big gap there. There's a lot of people are going to the bottom, and they got to get connected or they're going to go to the back.
It's just the 2 of them. They don't have enough speed up there by themselves. Snyder's going to have to make this push. Now, he's getting a very strong push right now from Corey Moore. That's him in the 11. Moore and Snyder on the outside aren't making a connection with the column behind. The column behind is too strung out on the outside right now. They make a push. They make a squeeze down to the inside a little bit here. Snyder and Donilon, very close.
One thing, if you notice, you saw the 69 truck of Martin go up there. You can side draft the outside back. It's not all about the outside lane side drafting. You can get on the left rear of these trucks and slow them down. It's not as effective as the right side because they're more vulnerable. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see those trucks move up there if they're side drafting them to side draft them back, and that just locks everybody up even more. But it's a strategy not to get freight trained with a bigger run.
It is, absolutely, and the strategy seems to be working here. Here, the 29 and the 11 on the outside, that's Heath Snyder and Corey Moore. As the group starts to form up a little bit.
Heath Snyder, man, he is a super speedway expert. I see him running all these races all the time, and here he is again. He's been leading all these laps. He's been leading the lanes. He's been minding his P's and Q's, and he's getting a good push right now. So if he gets clear, he may be what do they call Dale Jr. back in the Pied Piper here at Talladega.
The Pied Piper leading everyone out of, leading all the rats out of Dublin, something like that?
I don't know where it comes. I just remember them telling that Dale Jr. and Dale Sr. were the Pied Pipers, and you wanted to follow them out everywhere.
I feel like someone's gonna correct me maybe in the YouTube comments if they decide to watch today's race. So let's hope that I got that right. Anyways, it was Hamlin, the Pied Piper of Hamlin. That's what it was, not Dublin. It was Hamlin. Looking back at the race. It is true. Looking back at the race, Gary Donilon is holding on to the lead now. Snyder on the outside is a constant threat, though, as we've said, and it looks like Snyder is just staying in the head of Donilon and saying to him, nah, you're not going to get away with this easily. I am going to be here, and I'm not going anywhere.
I've been really impressed with Snyder keeping this. I mean, you got to give credit to Moore for pushing it behind him, but the outside lane has strung away and close together so many times, but they remain steady, and you can see they're not like really close to them, but they're just in that bubble to keep them behind. And Snyder gets that push, and they just don't go away.
No, not at all. And Snyder has held on to any ounce of momentum given to him by the column, and the column mostly consists of Corey Moore doing most of the pushing right now, because it looks like Jay Salmon, the 67, who we saw fall back earlier. We saw Salmon abandon ship, so to speak, earlier, and he fell back a couple of places. We think intentionally just to reassess and maybe to fall back for the pit stop. Well, that pit stop is over, and he's back now. Salmon holding on to 6th place where he started tonight's race, looking to move up. And to be honest, 1st and 2nd place, they're also where they started tonight's race. Gary Donilon and Heath Snyder.
Yeah, they say, there's comers and goers here, but if you look at Heath Snyder and Chad Gunesman, who just went to the front and they're kind of just staying there, they're just there, and you're going to have to go through them because they've just been up there. And there goes Gunesman for the lead. Big push by Snyder. I think they're going to clear the inside lane, and they are. And now it's going to be really hard, I think, to pass them now.
Yes, this is what I was looking for. Gunesman with the pass down to the inside now. He dominates the inside line. That was what I was kind of waiting for Heath Snyder to do, to get that nose on Donilon and just say nah and slide in.
Yeah, well, now he's pushing Chad. These trucks have been really strong. I mean, so is Donilon. He's been up there too, but he didn't pit last time. But these 3 trucks have been up here the whole race. And it's like you said, that 67 truck now, he pushes more at the top, and we're really going to see how strong that truck's going to be. But that inside lane has a lot more cars. They're much more single file. And those 2 top trucks right now that lead to the inside lane, they've been up there. They've been strong the whole race.
Those 2 top trucks, I think that's Corey Moore on the top ends and the top there. That's right. He's getting the push from Jay Salmon.
Good push right there as they come up to the 3rd row. You got a big shove right there, and you can see them break away from 3rd just a little bit. That side draft just helps just ever so slightly. and it kind of pulls the truck away. But you can see he's trying to counter. Snyder's really pushing Gudesman to try to counter that run that they're getting, so they don't have it. But they're getting side by side. They got a big run here.
They do. This has been a really huge run. As we've spoken, they've moved up so many places. Just the two of them, too, to be honest. They've had a little bit of help, but a lot of the push coming from Corey Moore, or coming from Jay Salmon, is driving Corey Moore toward the front. Here comes another big lunge. Can they get there before the turn?
It's going to be close. They're hooked up. They're really close. They're going to want to side draft more. I don't know if they want to take that risk right now. I mean, it's coming down to the end of the race. Maybe they wanted to give it a little bit more time. But they're really close together. You see the 67 truck. He dips out there, cleans the front nose, gets a little bit of air in it, and he's going to push this 11 truck even more now.
Yep. Here he comes. That 11 of Corey Moore. He's trying his best on the outside, and then back on the inside, Chad Genningsman. He's doing what he saw Heath Snyder do earlier, which is draw that nice, clean, super low inside line, flat out.
Yeah, they are. The 67 truck is really all over the back of the 11. They're going to get a big run. You go down that hill on the outside, it gives you about a mile an hour or two, and look at the push down the back straightaway. They're going to clear him.
They are going to clear him, and now the question is he going to slide in? There we go. He slides it down, brings it back a little bit. The 67 is left high and dry, but Jay Salmon has worked with that before. Now he's by himself, not pushing anybody, though. He's getting the push from somebody. Jay Salmon on the outside, Corey Moore taking the lead in tonight's race with about 15 laps to go at Talladega.
This is where the intensity is going to build. These guys are going to take bigger runs. They're going to stay closer together. They're going to side draft harder. You see the truck starting, and what's happening right now is they're getting closer. It's disrupting that air. They're going to push. They're going to hit. They're going to lift. Some people aren't going to lift. There's a lap truck right up here, all the way at the top. I think it was involved in that one of the bigger wrecks. Heath Snyder's going to the top though. He's got a big run. He's going to the front.
That run, that big push from Jay Salmon. Salmon playing the enhancement talent yet again. As soon as someone gets in front of Salmon, Salmon pushes them all the way to the front.
Some trucks are better at leading, like I think that 29 truck is of Heath Snyder, and then you have trucks that are really good at pushing, like Salmon, and both of these together. I think they're going to be able to make this pass, and it's going to be hard to catch them because these trucks are doing exactly what they're good at the whole time. Although the 67 is making a run, I think we're going to have 3 wide unless he thinks better of it. Now he goes back in line.
Yeah, he thought better of it. He was going to end up leaving Heath Snyder to go in. He was going to be 3 wide with nowhere to go, but instead they both fall back down.
Wonder if he's going to try to go to the bottom. No, they're staying close together. That third truck behind him was flirting. I think he's going to go. Oh, Heath Snyder's going to be hung out to dry here. It's a long way back.
See ya.
Oh wait, here we go. We got another line coming here. The 68 truck. A few. He's gonna have to lift because if he hits that 29 truck too hard, he could spin him out and cause a big wreck. I wonder if they're gonna get another big surge here. Chad Gudesman's looking to second though. There's another lap truck. Oh, we got some pit stops. Here they come.
Here's some late pit stops.
We knew that 12 truck. Oh, there's some contact.
A little wrecking.
No, the 12 truck. He didn't get it slowed down enough. He got in the back of the 67 truck. I don't see too much damage though.
That's Gary Donnellan.
We got 3 wide right here too for the lead.
Out on the field, Christopher Fugue, Heath Snyder, and Ryan Jalek right now. Jalek up 27 places for second place. Lot of jockeying happening right now for the lead there. Fugue just barely holding off the fury of Ryan Jalek and Heath Snyder.
I'm still really impressed with that 29 truck. I mean, look at him. He's got no help and he's staying right there. This is a strong truck right here. They're going to have to pit again, and I think they're going to try to do that soon. Here they come, as I say it.
Snyder flies by, though.
He's staying out. There's about 3-4 trucks behind him. These guys got to get it woed up. You see them jockeying because they got to slam on those brakes, but you don't want to lock them where we spun. We've already seen that a couple times this race.
And thankfully, iRacing is benevolent enough to not give you a collision once you're on pit road.
Run into so many people by accident.
Oh man, I can only imagine if they actually had collision on pit road, it would be a lot more professional, but it would be
a lot more carnage.
Oh my goodness, it would be a hell of a show. I'll tell you that.
Snyder here, I think he's going to end up pitting by himself, and that's not what you're going to want to do. I mean, it really depends on how much fuel they're going to put in this 29 truck, but that pack's going to form and blow by him, I think, and he's going to pit right here. I would think. We'll see if I'm wrong. Right here he comes. And their trucks are pitting behind him, so he's going to have some help. It may not be that bad at all. I mean, he's got nobody around him to make a mistake. He doesn't speed. He gets his service done. He's got some help. He may be looking in a pretty good position here.
Got eyes on Christopher Fugue right now. He's down 14 places to 18th place with 11 laps to go.
I wonder if he got some damage with some contact going in there.
Yeah.
Speaking of some damaged trucks, there's a lot of damaged trucks right here. The 6 truck, the 1 truck, they got some damage. Those guys are a lap down in front of them. They're still pushing. They're pushing hard.
Yep. And officially speaking, Jordan Sailors has taken first place, and Gabriel Andy has taken second place. They're both up 26 places.
I wonder if they're going to have to pit here. They're on a different strategy. I mean, they got help.
Ooh, big shunt.
I think he's off the track.
Big shunt. Jordan Sailors.
Anything. Did he save it? I think he did.
I think he might have.
I think he did.
Who was that he just smacked out of the way?
I'm not sure, but if he went flying off there, you got a replay right here.
Yeah, let's take a look at that replay.
Oh, he did not. He did save it. What a save. He's still saving. Oh, nope. He's off the track, though, so there's no caution. It's a single car wreck. That's really going to hurt his chances here. I really thought he was going to save it, man. He was Ken blocking it down there on that back straightaway.
Oh, there it is.
Bumpy.
Yeah. There it is. What a shunt, though. Just a massive bump. That's Charles Avert.
We've seen these bumps gone wrong. A little aggressive. Wrong area of the, you put too much on the right side, too much on the left, uneven, and stuff like that can happen. But they're really spread out here. Sailor's out here by himself, pushing a lap car, 78 machine. I got a strung of 5 cars here. I'm not sure what kind of strategy he's on, but they're trying to pick up the 24 truck. There's the pack behind him. These are damaged trucks. I think they're trying to spread out as much as they can here. We got around 10 to go here.
46 out of 55.
There's Chad Gudesman and more. They're catching them. They're more organized. You see them a lot more organized, pushing, not jockeying around as much, tighter together. That creates more speed. Track temp's gone down. These trucks are going faster. The pushers are going to be more aggressive, and they're going to get a tow of this 24 truck too. I think they're going to get there in time.
We're going to find out. It looks like they will with that tow. Like you mentioned, they're really tucked in there.
Gets out of the way. It's very cordial to let them race. They seem to separate just a little bit, though. You're going to want to be really tight and closed up if you want to run those guys down. But they're getting pretty close. They're going to sniff the draft here, and I think that's what's happening now is they're spreading out because they're sniffing the draft. These are going to be the fastest lap of the race here as they catch the back end of this pack.
Yeah, we've seen some of the drafting strategies tonight that have been good, some that have been unorthodox. This looks like it's going to work out.
Yep, and here they come. They got a big run. These trucks are damaged. Here they come. Man, look at that outside run. Clean truck, really well together. Push. They're going to come down the hill. They're going to clear them here. These trucks are going to try to clear themselves. These 2 on the outside aren't going to get clear. And see, one of them is
maybe
the 92 truck. No, he's going to get hung out to dry. No, they're going to get back in line. I think they're going to run this out here.
Yep, everybody right now back in line with 7 laps to go.
Yeah, we're coming down to the end here. And here comes these guys who didn't pit. I was figuring out when they were going to pit. Different strategy. They're going to be out of here. These are going to be the lead lap cars. And they're in a single file line. They may try to ride it out here, but as the laps wind down, I know the pushes are going to be aggressive.
Yeah, very, very aggressive. And a lot of these guys are pit lap 42. So they're going to be perfectly fine. In fact, everybody in the top 10 is pit lap 42 or 43. So they're all looking to end the race at this point.
Yeah, and they're in a single file line here. They're probably going to ride it out till probably about 2 to go is when we're going to see a lot of pushes. Chad Gudesman, again, same with more. 2 guys been here at the front the whole race, pushing good strategy, and they're positioning themselves to have a really good finish right here.
Well, it's been a fun race so far at Talladega. As we get ready to wind things down with the last 5 laps coming up very soon here, let's recap who's in the lead. Corey Moore is up 4 places. He's in the lead. Chad Genningsman's in second, up 20 places. Blair Holloman in third. Andrew Kotska in fourth. And rounding out the top 5 is Kyle Westwood, up 5 places.
And one guy we've been talking about the whole race, and now he's 16 seconds back, is Heath Snyder. Didn't get that truck down when everybody else did, and he just took probably the fastest truck, and he's way back there now out of contention unless it's going to be caution.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's unfortunate to see. Snyder was really a dominant force early in the race, just someone holding down the front line. But then as soon as he got actually challenged for that position, he folded, and he folded him hard. It looks like he had to relinquish that spot, then as soon as he did that, he got out of line, and the lack of aerodynamics made him give everything up. And he haven't really recovered from that since.
Yeah, he just didn't come down when most of the field came down. Remember, he came down with about 3 trucks, and I think 2 of them were lappers, so he was kind of out there by himself. And now he's 16.5 seconds back and really needing a caution for anything to happen. And that truck was out front most of the day. But Chad Gunnisman, as we see here in second, I think, that was the guy who was also with him the whole time. Played the cards right, kept his nose clean, pitted when he needed to. And right now, I'd honestly rather be in second if we're going to be in a single file line all the way to the checker. And he may be in the best seat in the house right now as we have 5 laps to go, coming to 4.
Here we go, going around. Whoop. A few people coming around. 5 to go. Officially now here.
Coming to 4 here.
Start finish line. Looks good. Corey Moore in the lead right now. Chad Genningsman in second. Blair Holland in third.
And we see a little bit of challenge back here, a little bit of jockeying. I think they're trying to get the noses cool. If you're in this pack at the back, what I'm trying to do is cool that front nose off, get those temps cool, and plan for a big run here and show what you got here coming down to the end. You can push a lot longer, and I think that's what a couple of these guys are doing, especially the 32 truck of Holloman. We haven't seen him too much throughout this race, but here he is in 3rd place. He's got a good chance here.
Can he do it? Holloman maybe waiting to make the move. He's up a few places, maybe not as much as everybody else, but he could be waiting to make that move and slip out from behind the situation in front of him. Chad Genningsman, he's got enough gap that he could make a leap of sorts if he really wanted to, but he's got less and less time to make it as we come down to three to go.
Yeah, and these trucks, they got a big lead. They got about a 10-second lead on the second pack. No one's going to want to mess that up. No one's going to want to wreck right now. I give them another lap or 2 probably before they start doing that. And as I say that, a truck goes to the outside, and I kind of like this move. You're in the back of the pack. You got to make a run. He's got help. I wonder if he can make it up there, because you can't make all that time up in 1 lap as we're coming to 2 to go.
Right, you're going to need at least a lap or 2 to get that done. And it looks like he's not really getting the help from behind him that he needs to make that pass.
Oh, we got a caution.
Caution's out.
Oh, it was wrecking.
Didn't even see it at first, folks, but there appears to be some wrecking.
12 truck of Donnellan. We've seen him up front. He was involved in that one.
Let's get a good old grid vision replay on that, and we'll see what happened.
A lot of blocking. On the apron here. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
And right back in front of the field. He just got on the apron. Another bad push. Left reared him, and there goes that whole pack. Tough break for those guys. I think they were just racing for what they had, any positions they can.
Yeah.
Tough break for Donnellan. He was up there most of the race. That truck looks a little mangled right now. Well, were we talking about green white checkers earlier, weren't we?
We were actually, and here it is. I was just thinking that myself, because we got a green white checkered situation. We've got 3 attempts at it as usual, but I think everyone's going to want to get it done in 1.
Yeah, I think everyone's good on fuel. I don't really see the need for fuel. Actually, if you got 3 and you're close, you may want to come top off. I guess we'll find out, but people like we were talking about, like Heath Snyder, fast truck, now they got a chance. A couple of these guys got another chance, another life in them to try to get to the win here.
Well, that's 3 laps to go, soon to be 2 laps to go. I always green white checkered situations always make me so tense because I always just think everyone just wants to make it, just wants to survive. Everyone just wants to survive, but then you've got half the field that just wants to win.
Everybody wants to win, I think.
I just want to live. I want to live to race again. I know I don't pay money to have these cars repaired, but I get so nervous when it comes to green white checker because I just want to make it to the end. I just want to make it to the finish line.
Well, a lot of them stayed out. They got enough fuel. We're gonna re-rack them here with 2 to go. We got 3 attempts, like you said. They've still not be done wrecking. You're gonna see a lot of pushes, a lot of side drafts here.
Yeah, I got a feeling you're right about that. That side draft push game has been so risky for so many racers tonight.
These trucks are wide. They're heavy. You know, you push them wrong, it gets them out of shape. You check up, the guy behind you doesn't check up, and you got a wreck like we just saw. You just get a little squirrely, and that's all it takes.
Damn. Yep. And I always think of nice smooth controller inputs, but sometimes when you've got bad air, when you've got all the situations around you, and you're just trying to keep it steady, and you can't even read the lines on the road, you're going to make a wrong move, and it's not going to necessarily be your fault, but well, I guess it would be. You're behind the wheel, but it does sort of feel like it's out of your hands. You know.
Well, there's a lot of people who really love this style of racing. There's a lot of people who hate it. I'm kind of on the edge of once the cars got easier to drive and the tracks got repaved. I wasn't a big fan of it because it didn't take a lot of skill. Some of these people really, really do like it. It is a skill in its own way, but I like tracks that I can control my own strategy, control my own, line and be better over time. But hey, some people have an act for this.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. It's wizardry. It's insane, but I respect it deeply. And the guys we've seen racing tonight, this is a good example of a room full of guys that have got the knack for this. Or at least a lot of them do. And the racing that we've seen tonight has been a great example of some guys who've got the knack, so to speak, and they've got what it takes to understand oval racing and the strategies involved.
Yeah, everybody's been pretty cordial for most of the race. We've seen a couple bumps gone wrong. That's to be expected, coming to the end, or just someone taking a run, or someone lifting and not knowing. But for the most part, 2x2, they really haven't doored each other or banged into each other, other than a couple times seem to be on accident.
And we're coming back around here, getting ready to show the green flag with the green-white checkered situation. First attempt out of 3, folks. You know the drill.
I'm looking at this 97 truck right now. I think he's in the best spot right now. I think when that green flag drops in that restart zone, he's going to stay to the outside of the 11 truck, and he's going to side draft them and come off of turn 2 as long as he's got help down that hill and take the lead. And then he's going to be what we call working both sides of the street, trying to figure out what line. I'm also looking at the 29 truck, Pete Snyder. He's got another life in him. He's back there around, the 7th position. Getting a good line, past a couple cars, make his way run to it right there.
We're gonna find out. It would be really, really wild to see. If all of a sudden we had a big jump from him.
Well, these guys are going to be full sending. There's no cordial anymore. It's big pushes, big side draft, making it 3 wide. I'd be absolutely shocked if they didn't. These guys, especially in the first 3 or 4 rows, they see the pace car, they see the field, they think they can win this race, and they're going to try.
And they're going to try. I like the determination there. As we come around, I think the pace car is getting ready to go off. We're locked in with 3 laps to go, folks. Let's see what happens with this green-white checkered situation tonight at Talladega. The Spartan Sim Racing League Monday Night Truck Series is getting ready to conclude things as Corey Moore and Chad Ginningsman get ready to cross the line and follow that green flag. We're looking for it. And there it is, the green flag. We are go on grid vision to wrap things up here tonight.
What a jump by the inside lane.
Huge jump on the inside lane. Spreads things out nice and conveniently.
Oh, here
Lets
comes the
people slide
outside.
into place.
Here they come. Here comes Chad Gunesman in the 97 truck. There goes Heath Snyder. He's popping up to the top too. They're going to get really. Here they come. They're going to come down the hill. I think they're going to clear him here. There they go.
Oh, let's see what happens.
Three
We got
wide.
3 wide now. 3 wide for third place. Almost 4.
Chad to the bottom. Here comes Heath Snyder. He's pushing the 47 truck of Koska.
Coming around, Kotska, our lone Canadian right now in tonight's race. He's on the inside, on the outside. Genningsman on the inside. He's losing some positions now. Kotska moving forward very nicely.
We go to the
push for
white.
29.
Here we go. White flag.
And that's going to be it. We're going to get the white flag. You know what that means. Next time around is the last time around. Andrew Kotska on the outside, still holding on to it. Great momentum. Chad Genningsman, he's on the inside. He's still looking for it. They're nose to nose.
Trying to side draft him too. They got nose to tail here. The 29 truck, he's been pushing the 47 for a while. Is he going to have enough engine? We're going to go 3 wide.
Side by side, 3 wide now. Here he comes.
Oh man, they're jockeying everywhere. Heath Snyder
Not
stuck in
enough.
the middle. Chad
It looks
Gunesman,
like-
that outside just broke apart. Here comes Chad.
Yep, that outside did not have the integrity at all. Kotska falls back very, very hard. Jay Salmon falls back very hard. With no one to contend on the outside line, it's not looking really good for anybody to come up there. But
There
here
we
comes
go.
the 11 of Corey Moore. He's making a move. Corey Moore with the move. He's got the nose.
He got it.
It was Corey Moore at the
Wide,
line.
wide.
0.04 difference between Corey Moore and Chad Genningsman.
How about some 4
Moore,
wide at the line, huh?
Genningsman, Kotska. Wow, 4 wide. There were 3 cars, 4 wide at the line. 3 or 4 cars, 4 wide at the line for the finish. What a move from Corey Moore, lying in wait, pops out like a snake in the grass, takes the win from Chad Genningsman. What a finish.
Timed it perfectly too. Look at him. He's waiting. You can see him waiting for that 32 truck to get to that back bumper. As soon as that 32 truck locks up, you're going to see him pull out right here and just utilize the side draft. He's just going to pull out right at the right rear. Gunesman tries to block. He can't because of the 32 pushing him. You're going to see him. He's going to come down side draft and take the win.
Huge movements.
Look at
Very
these trucks
impressive.
all over the place right here. Getting every space. There he comes down to side draft. Look at this 4 wide behind the 18 truck gets spun here, right at the line. They're the 68, and here they come 4 wide to the line. What a finish!
Huge finish. 4 wide at the line.
Couple more feet. That 47 truck was probably going to have something to say about it too. Look at him just
Look at
across the line.
those cars all finishing within 100th of a second of each other. With the unofficial results, the top 3 tonight, Corey Moore, Chad Genningsman, and Andrew Kotska. We're going to go to commercial break, folks, and we're going to be right back with some interviews and more on Grid Vision.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, folks, and welcome back to the post-race content here on Grid Vision. We just finished racing 55 at Talladega. Let's give you the results. Put them up on the screen, and we will break them down for you. In the top position, we had Corey Moore taking away the victory. Chad Genningsman in second place. Andrew Kotska, third place. Fourth place, Blair Holloman. Fifth, Colton Gardner. Sixth, Heath Snyder. Seventh, Jay Semin. Eighth, Evan Ethel. Ninth, Kyle Westwood. And 10th, Kevin Martin.
Yeah, we got Robert Yost Jr. there in 11th, Christopher Few in 12th, Hunter Hughes in 13th. We got Benjamin D. Stevens in 14th. 15th, we got Brian Britt. 16th, Tom Ringer. 17th, Christopher Quitek. And then in 18th, we got Drew Proel. And 19th, Joseph Tucker. And the 20th of Art Nicotera.
Very good. 21st place, Jordan Sailors. 22nd, Patrick Stein. 23rd, Ryan Jalek. 24th, Charles Abert. 25th, Gabriel Andy. I say Andy, I think it's Andy every time. 26th, Gary Donnellan. 27th, James Staples. 28th, Brandon Barrier. 29th, Jason Kratke. 30th, Scott Schroeder. And 31st, Tyler Beeman. A nice full list today, and we are going to jump into the interviews. Joseph, you're going to be starting our interviews off with the third place winner of Andrew Kotska. Take it away whenever you're ready.
Yeah, Andrew, Joseph here in the booth. Man, that was a crazy race. Is that how you expected it? Because you were kind of there all the way to the end. What was going through your mind there at the end?
At the end, well, once we got that last caution bringing out the green-white checker, first of all, I was just worried about fuel. I knew I had enough to get through one green-white checker, but I was worried for more. So at that point, I was riding most of the race, just trying to stay clean, just taking my race. And when that came, I was just trying to hold that line and trying to stay on the front and just try to get in front. And luckily got a top 3 out of it, but hope for that win.
Yeah, it just came up just a little bit short, but we saw you most of the race. You were kind of up there. You were smart. You were minding your P's and Q's. It seemed like everybody there was, like you said, was a little nervous there at the end for fuel, but 3 green-white checkers, I'm sure was creeping in the back of your mind. But you stayed in front of the carnage, and I'm sure I'm sure you wanted to win, but at the same time, you got to be happy with third place there, just at arm's reach. But that was a really good race by you. You were up there the whole time. We were talking about you.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun race. I wanted to say clean. Unfortunately, my teammates, some of them had some issues out there tonight. We were trying to work together here, but yeah, it was a good clean race. Everyone up front was very thoughtful on the track, leaving space, and it was great to race that out there at the end, and then having almost that four wide finish. It was crazy.
Yeah, we were screaming there at the end of the four wide finish, and everybody, like we said, was pretty cordial. Is there anybody else you got to shout out there? Is there good third place finish, good points finish?
Yeah, first of all, shout out to you guys here doing the broadcast. You guys do a great job here for the league, and shout out to the Spartan Sim Racing League for running this. Shout out to the team at Mad Sim Spartan Racing as well, and all of our sponsors, and to friends and family out there watching the broadcast tonight.
Awesome. That's Andrew Koska. You finished just third. Great to have you. Good to hear from you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, and here's our second place silver medalist, Chad Genningsman. Chad, forgive me, is that how I pronounce your last name?
Yep, you got it right.
Awesome. Anyways, even better. Congratulations on the second place, though. Let's talk about the last minute of this race, though. The last couple of laps of this race. When did you realize, or what do you think kept you from holding off the Corey Moore there for that victory?
I'd say two things. One was when it single filed out when Andrew blocked the outside, which good on him because that probably saved him a top three. So that basically when me and Corey cleared everybody, I kind of knew I was a sitting duck. I was hoping to be side by side and he'd be forced to push me. So that was kind of the first thing that I'd say took away my chance. Then two was just not wanting to throw the block in the trioval and junk everybody after such a good race. I think I maybe could have looked more aggressive, but for such a good race, I was happy getting a top three.
Honestly, yeah, it was a very, very good race. Only a couple of yellows here and there. There was one good one right there in the middle. Did you? And one thing I noticed was that you and Andrew both were two of the hardest chargers of the evening, able to work your way up through the strategy of the evening. What was your overall fuel strategy? Was it to play it aggressively or to go for the full tank and then ride it out?
Yeah, so I think really my strategy was I kind of know that coming down to the end of the stages, there's kind of always a wreck in the top 10 or so. So which ended up happening. So my goal was to, where a lot of people split stage 1.5, my goal was to basically run it to lap 20, pit, and then stay out at start stage 2, which pretty much that's exactly how it played out. And then they allowed me to restart stage 2 in the lead and kind of stay out of the trouble I thought would be there in stage 2. There really wasn't a whole lot anyways. And then really from there, it was just making sure you're pitting with a group. So I didn't really have anybody I was working with tonight. So as soon as I heard that Corey and Andrew were pitting, I made sure I jumped in with them so we could kind of get a nice clean pit stop and start putting some laps down.
Excellent. Well, it was honestly some great racing. I thought maybe you were going to have it there at the end, but Corey obviously eked it out just a little bit. Congratulations still on the silver medal. Is there anyone you'd like to thank or shout out to tonight?
Yeah, definitely want to thank you guys for broadcasting. Want to thank Dave and the rest of the admins for putting on the league, and then want to thank everybody on the team I work with who builds a strong truck every week and lets me have a good piece to put me in contention to win.
Very good. Well, thank you for your time tonight. We hope you have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys.
And I'm going to pass it back over to Joseph, and who's going to interview our gold medalist, Corey Moore.
Yeah, Corey, great race. I mean, coming down to the end there, you perfect position, and I think you timed that perfectly well. What was that exactly what you wanted? Was just to back up to the 32 truck, get that run, and just side draft right by?
That's that. Yeah. But thank you so much. Yeah, I was trying to back up just a little bit there, and then just push as much as I can down the backstretch to push him clear. And I almost made the move too early. My bomb teammate spotting for me. He said, no, not now. And he said now, and it was just a perfect timing. It was fantastic. So I can't thank them enough for that help there.
Yeah, we were looking back at the replay, and it looked perfect. You got clear. They were 4 wide behind you. They were going for the positions, but you, Chad, Heath, all these guys up there, you guys were up there the whole race, and coming down in the end, 2 lanes. Is that kind of how you planned it out there, or because I know you were in the lead before the green white checkered.
Yeah.
Were you a little nervous there before you got back in the second to time that run?
certainly when the caution came out there at the end, I took a big deep breath there and got a little nervous. But in terms of track position and being able to be near the front, I can't thank the team over at TWRS enough. Made a great strategy call early in the race there that put us in great position and kept me, really with where my track position was in a really good spot to be in contention there at the end. So I can't thank those guys enough.
Yeah, that was a really exciting finish. They were 4 wide behind you. You timed that perfectly. You got a good pusher there the whole time. That was a great win. I'm really happy for you. Talked about you a lot. Anybody
Thank
you got
you.
a shout out there?
Yeah, obviously the whole team over at BOM, Blue Oak Motorsports, TWRS, great teammates over there. Thank you guys for all your hard work that goes into the broadcasting, and SSRL. Really enjoying the league. They run a really tight ship over there. They do things the right way, and it really makes the racing very enjoyable. So thank you to everybody.
Oh, that was a great race. Good win. That's Corey Moore finishing first. Congratulations once again, and a great win here at Talladega.
Thank you.
And that'll do it for us here tonight on Grid Vision. Let's wrap our things up with our thoughts on this race and the next. What a race tonight at Talladega. We saw a few classic Talladega moments tonight. We also saw some great draft racing out of the SSRL League. Can't thank these guys enough. Hey, Joseph, what were your thoughts on tonight's race?
Well, it seemed to be kind of what I thought. I mean, they were a little bit more conservative than I thought, but near at the end, side drafting, a couple bumps gone wrong, a couple big wrecks, taking a lot of trucks, but timing it perfectly by Corey Moore. 4 wide finishes, really cool to see. Just classic Talladega coming there at the end.
All righty. Well, we want to thank tonight's sponsors for their help putting on tonight's show, and from the entire Grid Vision team. We'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcast, or if you want to start your career in broadcasting, you can hit us up on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Special thanks over to Andrew Cardinal of Whiplash SimCams for providing the cams used on tonight's broadcast, and congratulations again to Corey Moore on winning tonight's race at Talladega. This has been Joel Castro, joined in the booth by Joseph Piscata and in the truck by Taylor Burris. We'll see you next time on the grid.